I saw the same pictures as you did. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name.
It was a lot more than that. We are joined now by Pastor Darrell Scott of the New Spirit Revival Center. He's the CEO of the National Diversity Coalition for Trump and was on the president's transition team. Pastor, you have said that the media is obsessed with this. It's all we want to talk about. But yesterday was about infrastructure, and the president was not set to take questions. People on his own team said he hijacked the event. He went rogue, and he doubled down on his comments on Saturday, blowing past what he said, really to correct it Monday night. What's your take on that?
He simply, well, on Saturday, the president made a blanket statement condemning all violence, all of the participants in the violence, and racism, bigotry, in every form. The media wasn't satisfied, and so on Monday he came back and he was more specific in his denunciation and trying to talk about infrastructure on yesterday. Of course, they went straight to his denunciation on the Monday and tried to revisit it, and he came back and said he thought that all of the participants in the violence were wrong. And I see nothing wrong with him saying that if you went there to commit violence, and if you went there to commit violence to stop these neo-Nazis and skinheads or whoever they were, Ku Klux Klan, from protesting, you are wrong as well. I mean, it's a matter of motive. It's a matter of intent.
But, sir, when you speak to the mayor of Charlottesville or the governor of that state, it was a white nationalist event. And when the president talked about some fine Americans who were there because they wanted to stand up for a monument or a park, there were just that, Klans people there, members of the alt-right shouting down Jews and African Americans. If there were fine people there, why didn't they remove themselves?
I don't know. You know, you can't, I think he just didn't want to blanketly state that every single person there on that side was evil. And, you know, those slurs that were shouted out were wrong, but heck, I'm the victim of slurs all the time simply because I'm a Trump supporter. It seems as if the only hate speech that is tolerated in America right now is hate speech against Trump supporters. I'm called a coon, a sellout, an Uncle Tom on a regular basis by members of the left that claim to be decent, moral, upstanding citizens. So,
well,
I mean,
members
it is
of
what
the
it
right?
is. This is the culture of this country that we're in right now. But you know what? This fake outrage that I'm seeing now, it's laughable to me that, you know, the left uses every incident or occurrence they can to delegitimize or to undermine or to criticize the presidency of Donald Trump. If Hillary Clinton was president, these 300 people showing up to protest the removal of a Robert E. Lee statue would not have even received media coverage.
Sir,
but because Donald Trump is president.
But you don't even need to have the left in the conversation. Across the board, we saw GOP leadership condemn the president's comments yesterday. People within his own administration, people in Trump Tower yesterday who work for him, who were there to present on infrastructure, were aghast over it. You don't need the left. The Republicans are just as angry.
They were, well, some Republicans have been and never will be Donald Trump supporters. He's an outsider, and he came in, and they represent the old guard, so they're looking for reasons to destabilize his administration and to undermine him as well. Just because they're Republicans doesn't mean that they're on his side, but I'll say this much. The actions of these Ku Klux Klan members or whatever, and even the action of this despicable murderer that plowed into the crowd, that is not reflective of the Republican Party any more than that woman that drove the car in Las Vegas last year that ran over a crowd. They said she didn't reflect Islam or the black community. The actions of single individuals don't reflect, amen, the whole of any particular organization.
But, sir, the actions of the president do set the tone for the nation. And though we did see a lot of GOP members denounce what the president said yesterday, again, David Duke and Richard Spencer certainly like that. Does it not give you concern that the one group that continues to stand by and appreciate the president's comments are white nationalists?
It's because, listen, and I said this and people took me to task, but I reiterate it. The media chose that candidate for them. everyone wonders why the white supremacists gravitate towards Donald Trump, is because from the outset of his campaign, from the outset of the primaries, the left-wing media labeled Donald Trump as a racist, as a white supremacist, and so because of that, the racists and the white supremacists, they heard that message, and they said, well, if he is indeed that, then he's our candidate of choice.
All right, sir, I want to be clear. I'm not labeling the president a racist or a bigot, but I am saying,
well, he's been labeled a racist and a bigot.
I'm not labeling that.
And no matter how many times he denies it, no matter how many times he denounces racism, no matter how many times he denounces bigotry, they say, well, he denounced it, but he still really is one.
Okay, I am not saying that. What I am saying is David Duke certainly is a racist and a bigot, and David Duke is saying, thank you, sir. I certainly appreciate your words. We're going to leave it there. Thank you for joining me this morning, Pastor. We're going to take a break. Next, we're going to talk